Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my flawless foundation routine for people with oily skin. I have really oily skin and it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I feel like I have something that works really well for me. So this is a liquid foundation tutorial. It's a full face tutorial. It's my night out, it's my special occasion, it's for the days when I really want to look my best. This is what I do for my skin, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. And to find out how to get this look, just continue watching. So I went ahead and put my hair back so it's not flying in my face and crazy while I'm trying to show you my makeup. And the only thing I have on my skin right now is my Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. Put this on a little while ago so that it sunk into my skin really well. And I'm going to follow that up with the NYX Shine Killer. This is supposedly eliminating shine throughout the day. It just helps keep my skin a little bit more matte, and it just looks like a clear gel like that. And I'm just going to put that on my T-zone, sides of my nose, my chin, anywhere that I get oily. So next I'm going to be using Benefit's the PoreFessional. This is a tinted primer. Obviously it's to eliminate the sides of your pores or just make them look like they're not there. And the stuff is great. This is obviously a teeny tiny little tube. This was a sample that I got, but it actually has lasted me quite a surprisingly long amount of time. And I'm at the very bottom of it, so I'm squeezing it pretty hard. But it looks like this. It's just kind of a tan. I think this is in light. I think it comes in different shades. If I could be wrong. I'm going to put it on the sides of my nose where my pores are most noticeable, and I'm just going to spread it out over to my cheeks, and it just helps really smooth everything out. My chin here as well. It just gives you a really smooth surface to apply your foundation. So I like to try different foundations, different liquid foundations, and just see which ones work best for me. Now I have an oily skin type, so a couple of my favorites are the Revlon Colorstay in Combo to Oily Skin. This is in shade 200 Nude. And then I also have been really liking the Clinique's Day Matte Oil-Free Makeup, obviously. So today I'm going to be using the Revlon Colorstay. And unfortunately this does not have a pump or a squeeze option to it, so I have to kind of just shake a little on the back of my hand, and I'm running out, so it might take a second. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to dump a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm using my MAC Duo Fiber brush, the 187. I'm just picking up a little bit on the very ends of my bristles, and starting on one half of my face, I'm going to just stipple that all over. This foundation, because it's formulated to be a drier foundation for people with oily skin, does set up a little bit quicker than some. So that's why I went ahead and stippled it all over my face, and then I went back in really quickly and started buffing that in. If you're using a dual fiber brush to do your foundation, it's imperative to not use too much pressure, if that makes sense. You want to make sure it's just these tall white bristles at the top that's touching your makeup. These are just down here, these short black ones, to give these bristles support. So it really just gives it a really nice light, these just give it a really nice light finish and application, which I think makes it look more flawless. It's also not going to cake it on there as much as some other types of brushes would, so that's nice too. I'm not really worried about if I get it in my eyebrows or anything, because I will do that after my foundation. I know a lot of people like to go ahead and fill their brows first and then conceal around them. But I actually like using a powder. I'll use like my Bare Minerals to conceal around my brows after I've done it. So I'm not really worried about being super neat around my eyes or anything like that. Just really trying to buff it out. Just really trying to buff it out and have it look seamless. I'm also going to take a little bit more and make sure I do my jawline and kind of blend that down into my neck, the front of my ears, because you don't want your skin to look like two different colors. Like, that's not a good time. I'm going to go back in with my, what is this, Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It's really dense. And I'm going to take whatever foundation was left and kind of go over my problem areas. I might get just a teeny bit more foundation. Any larger areas of discoloration, because it's going to pack it on more densely, and it's just giving me more coverage. I don't want it to be super thick all over my face, but any spots that need special help or attention, I like using this brush for. For concealer, I'm going to be using my Laura Geller Real Deal Concealer. This is in shade Light. Get it from Macy's, you can get it from Ulta, I believe. And I'm just using this straight across eyeliner, like flat eyeliner brush, since it's nice and small. I'm taking up a teeny little bit. This stuff goes a long way, like really just need a drop of a pin on the back of your hand and you're good to go. And I'm just going to hit any little spots of blemishes or darkness and discoloration. And I'm really just putting it right where it needs to be because I'm going to go back in with my finger and blend it. Because with concealers, the thicker of a concealer you use, the warmth of your finger really does the best job at blending it out. It's just going to melt that concealer right into your skin and do a beautiful job. So now I'm going to set everything that I've done so far, and I'm going to be using L'Oreal's Translucid Loose Powder. It's just a translucent powder. And I'm going to shake a little bit out into the lid. And I'm just using my MAC 150 powder brush to kind of lightly flick it all across my face. Because I don't want to use too much of a heavy hand or it's going to move and mess up everything I've done so far. And that is also not going to be a good time. It's important to set your foundation before you do your blush and your bronzers and contouring and anything like that, because if you're using a powder blush or powder bronzer, it's not going to go on as smoothly if you don't set your foundation with powder first, because powder against powder is going to blend out more smoothly. That makes sense. So to contour, I'm going to be using Benefit's Hoola bronzer. It's a light matte bronzer. It looks like this, comes in cute little packaging like that. And I'm using a Bare Essentials, what is this, Heavenly Blush. It's like a very small, dense kabuki brush. And for me, I think it's a perfect contour brush because it gets right into that small little hollow perfectly and doesn't put it all over the place. So for me, I'm just going to look at where my cheekbone hits, and I'm going to kind of look at my face dead on and kind of see where it goes in, and I'm going to fill in starting back by my ear, and I don't want to go past this point, so I'm going to put the color in all in this little area right here. And I like a pretty dramatic contour. I don't know, I think it just gives a nice look to your face. It's angled, and it's not going to be this strong once I'm done, because once I do my blush and everything, I'm going to blend those together. But for right now, I want it pretty strong. And take it up my hairline, just kind of frame out my face, warm up my skin tone especially, and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to do my jawline, kind of frames out everything and blend it down just a little bit. I'm also going to take that same brush and do my nose, and how I do my nose is I keep this perfectly in a straight line. I don't take it out this way. You want to make it so this part is your highlight and everything on this side is darker. So I'm just doing it in a straight up and down motion like that, very lightly. And if you do it too dark, it's fine. You can wipe it off or go back and blend with a powder or something. And I'm going to highlight there in the middle later. I don't really have a big nose or anything, but I think since I'm doing such a heavy contour on the rest of my face, it makes sense to do it here too. Okay, so that's definitely noticeable and in your face, but that's okay because we're going to blend it out. I'm using the Revlon Cheek Trio from the Photoready collection, and this is all kind of like bronzy shades, and I'm only using this top color right here. It's got like a golden sheen to it, but it's definitely not a shimmer, but it's a little bit lighter than what I used to contour, but it's just going to warm up my skin tone even more, just, I don't know, maybe make me look a little tan, if that's even possible. But anyway, I'm using just a synthetic angled brush. It's really dense, so it's good for blush. And I'm going over where I contoured. That way it's perfectly seamless and you don't see the stop and start point with my cheek colors. And I'm taking it to the top of my cheekbones. Not really putting it too much here because I don't think that's a cute spot for face color. I just don't. Some people might disagree with me, but it's okay. And I'm going to blend it up into my temples and do the same thing on the other side. Now, since I do have such oily skin, this next step might seem crazy to some people, but I like to use a loose rice powder, my Palladio rice powder to be exact. And before I highlight, I'm going to shake a little bit out into the top of my lid using my same powder brush from earlier. I'm going to use this powder to go around my nose again, but this also helps me blend out my cheek colors so it's more soft and subtle, I guess you could say, and not so streaky or crazy or heavy. And it just helps keep me matte like that. Okay, So now to highlight, I'm going to be using my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish. This is in Lightscapade. It was limited edition, but it's just a nice light champagne color, really finely milled particles or minerals, so I really enjoy it for that reason. And I'm using another Bare Escentuals Heavenly Kabuki brush. This is actually the Eye Buki, and this is huge, I think, for an eye. But for highlighting, I think it's great. It's just a nice soft dome top. Swirl that in there like that. And I'm just going to hit the very top of my cheekbones, up into my temple a little bit. I kind of make like an L shape, and then I fill in where that angle is so it looks nice and natural. Do the same thing on the other side. Kind of blend it out. I'll do the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow. Sometimes I do my forehead, not always. I'll do a little bit today. I'll do kind of like a V. I won't put any more on, but whatever's left on my brush, I'll just take it into that V. Kind of like lightens up my under eye area. Just like that. So this is my finished foundation routine. This is a great tutorial for anybody with really oily skin like me, because I can guarantee you it will get you throughout the whole day. I know I hate when I do my makeup and then an hour or two later I look in the mirror and I'm like, what happened? It doesn't even look like what I left the house with. But this, I can promise you, will do really well for you. I hope you guys enjoy my videos, and thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.